Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are now in our January 8th episode of our Stock Market Insights. And if this is your first time, I'd like to encourage you to do subscribe in our channel so that you're always reminded and yeah, you're always reminded whenever we have a live session. And in here, what we do, if this is your first time, we would normally talk about the performance of your stocks. If you have a request, I would always prioritize the requests of those who are able to drop a comment. Okay, so if you are the first one, then of course we'll prioritize you. So, having said that, feel free to drop a comment, say hi, so I can give you a big shout out, and we'll also prioritize your request. Okay. In the meantime, let us wait for a few of our friends. I have already sent an invite to our friends in Facebook. We are invest in the stock market in Facebook, and of course, I'm in Investograms, and I've already sent my invite to them. So let's give them a few minutes, right? Okay, so we have Rose Faye. Hello, Miss JD. How are you? All good? And I just feel that even if it's already late, my day is not complete if I am not able to go live. And this is a commitment for me. It's a skill that we're trying to form. So I should never be absent. Like you guys, right? Thank you for consistently joining me. I know sometimes, in terms of timing, our time zones do not match, especially for Rose. Actually, this time is favorable for Rose, I believe, as she's based in the US. Right, Rose? Okay, so feel free to drop a comment for your stocks, okay? In the meantime, let me just fix the layout of our chart because I don't really use this type of chart. Okay, there you have it. Let's see. Let's check out PSCI. I saw the chart earlier. It was a red and not a good story for our index because there was a gap down that happened, and I'm not able to really closely watch the news uh, as I'm in the office the whole day. So I wonder what may have triggered this. Yeah. So it's probably just market sentiment. Unless you guys have other information you'd like to share to the team, what may have caused the gap down? We were already sitting at the support, or yeah, at the MA20 line for our index, and all of a sudden there was a gap down. And I don't feel good when this thing happens because we might see some more red movement in the coming days. Okay, we might even end in a red candlestick up until Friday. Who knows? So, how significant is PSEI, Philippine Stock Exchange Index? Okay, so for the newbies out there, when we say index, so an index is like a basket. It consists of the top 33, I think, or top 30 plus companies listed in the Philippine market, and these are the more established companies. To name a few, you have Jollibee, Metro Bank, Ayala, PLDT. So these are the more stable ones, and they consist the index. Okay, so just right off the bat, looking at the chart right now of the index, so I feel that if I'll open some of them, I bet they're all red. Not all, but most of them. Okay, so our first request is from Rose, JFC, SMPH, Holcim, Ali, and LHC. Okay, thank you for that request, Rose. JFC. Okay, so not a good sign for JFC. It crossed the MA20 line downwards. So I would have to say that we might see some more red candlesticks in the coming days. I wonder where it will create another support, or it will probably test the support that I see. Okay, so this is an area that we can closely monitor, as I feel that the stock price might revisit that area. And just me being selfish, I'm in Jollibee, and I'm in Jollibee for long term. And then if I see this price dipping, I feel that this is my opportunity to get in at a much cheaper price. Right. Okay. Hi, Joey, Abelia. Good evening, Mac, Green, B Core, and East West. Okay. Um, I'll definitely look into that. So the next one is SMPH from Rose. SMPH is also touching your MA20 line, and this is part of the index as well. So just in case, okay, tomorrow it crosses your MA20 level, chances are we'll see some more red days, because that means that our support right now is starting to become weak. Okay, and overall, look at that. We've been on a continuous climb. We've been bullish for several months. It started back in October. We were bullish in the movement for SMPH, and now I feel that chances are, if it will rest and if it will cross that MA20 line, the next possible area that it will test as a possible area of support would be 40.56. Mhm. Wholesome. I What's the code? HLCM. Yes. Okay, still doing sideways here. But I feel that this is currently the resistance area for Wholesome. So let me plot it here. So that's the Darvas box that we currently have. Where um, as of today, this is a bearish candlestick. Okay, even if we're just a few cents away from your MA20 line, but since this area has created a resistance, and this being a bearish candlestick, chances are it will revisit your support over here, and will potentially continue to make sideways and before a change in direction happens. Could be next move is like this or this, depending on how your other indicators behave come that day. Okay, but for now, um, short term wise, I plotted a rectangle or a Darvas box as our imaginary support down over here, and resistance down over here. Okay, or up there. Ali, Ali, I would have to say, is actually giving us some promising movements, although we dipped. Um, all right, so this is the situation. We dipped and still managed to see a green candlestick. So I would have to say, the moment the price reached your support right over here, it's actually a um, double bottom for Ali. And when we achieved that, a very fast reaction from the market. There was a sudden bounce. That's why you see a wick over here, because at one point when it reached this level, the price did not really retain in that area. It managed to bounce back up. So, and then your RSI is slightly higher than the previous low West Point over there. So all we have to do is really observe and hopefully within the area. I don't think, yeah, your price will still give you an opportunity once again in the 42.57, but I would have to say probably in this area 43.18. For those people who may have entered really down here, might still take profit, and stock will move sideways before it goes up. So if in case market gives you a chance around this level, grab the opportunity. Okay. The reason why I'm confident in saying that, if there's really no bad news about Ali, Ayala is again a good company to engage in for long term. Okay. All HC, all HC. Hmm. Looks like your decline is not over yet. Um, even if we're not, even if today we were not able to hit exactly at the right spot here in the MA20 line, but it tried to really create an imaginary resistance over here. So I would have to say, um, the downtrend is not over yet. We might see some more bearish movements here. Okay, we're very close to the MA20, it being your technically your resistance, but it did not even reach that level, and the market rejected the price. So just if you have a buying power, just hold on to it first, and probably see what the opportunity entails once the price reaches this level over here. And if you're wondering why I plotted it there, so this is how the thought process behind our screening, or how we screen your support. We scroll down and work our way to the left, because we're doing back testing, we're looking at historical data. So scroll down looking to the left. This area here, when it reached that level, there's rejection. And another opportunity here, we're showing the same behavior, and then again move to the left, and we also found a validation over here when price jumps or bounces each time that area is reached. Therefore, if you are to ask me, there's a big chance that the price might revisit 2.84. And then once it reaches there, let's again chat and see if it's already a confirmed possible bounce in that area. Good evening. Nice to see more people now joining. So Joey has Mac, Green, B Core, and East West. Ems Pablo. Hi, Miss JD. DMC po. Thank you. Rhea. Hi. Hello, Miss JD. Um, Please add FB, Meg, Goro, and F. Okay, that's for Rose, Randy, Miss JD, MWCC. Okay, all right, let's do that. Um, but let me work on the initial request from Joey. Joey, are you still there? This is your turn. Mac is still moving downwards, and this is still bearish. So even though the movement is really very little today, um, I don't want to recommend to get in, um, not yet, because there's no confirmation that we have a bounce now. But I would have to say I really hope. But based on what I see in terms of the volume over here, the chart or the bar graph, yeah, the bar graph that I see, you have a declining volume in the past 3 days. So who knows? All we needed to see is a green engulfing candlestick to end within the lower Bollinger Band. Again, an engulfing green candlestick that will end within the lower Bollinger Band. So that's our objective. Green. Green over here, I would have to say we might still have some more sideways movement, but more on a declining sideways. Very subtle decline, as what you have noticed in the past how many weeks. So we're not safe. Even if there was an overshoot uh, above here, where you ended slightly higher than your MA20 line, um, uh, just remember that it's always an area. Your resistance, your support will always be in an area. So it could end slightly higher or slightly lower. Now, what do we have here? We're still moving below the MA20 line, so I would say we're not totally safe. You might even have some more movements downwards, but very, very subtle movement. Where could the next possible support be? Actually, in this area. Okay, so that's our support. So what is next? Green, B core and east west. B core is giving us a promising movement. I'd have to say this is already attempting to make a bounce. Okay, probably what we need to see here is price creating a much stronger support within the area. And just I hope the market gives us another green candlestick, but I would have to say if you are interested now in getting in, wait for the price to give you a chance around 3.22, as I feel that this is a more conservative approach, and at the same time there's also a chance that it can reach that level. Okay, so if I may ask, why do you want to get in Bitcore? If you're getting in as a trader, of course, if the direction negates your analysis, make sure to just cut your losses. We're not 100% accurate, and our analysis could also be incorrect once in a while. But at least you're able to manage your loss. Okay, so don't wait till you lose 9%, 10% before you get out of the trade. East west. East west is I'd just like to plot our support in this area. Okay, so they're very the distance between one support to the next support in east west chart is really close. So what you have here, the nearest possible support that I see is actually at the 11.76. So just in case the market goes sideways before it change its direction, um, I have a feeling at one point, because you're already actually near the oversold area. At one point, you're already at the oversold area. Um, I feel that this stock will go sideways first before moving upward again. Okay, so that's east west. DMC for AMS. AMS, are you still there? DMC AMS, I feel that we are just moving within the short-term resistance. I feel that uh, you might see some more downward movements, and if it will dip, the next area to watch out for would be your MA20 line. So it might just move within the range of 6.16 to 7 pesos area at the moment. Okay. FB and MAG for Rose again. FB MAG. Okay, I love the chart of FB. But where can we enter? Probably in this area, just anywhere where it is at right now. And actually, it's already a good time to enter. But just in case you can haggle, price can fluctuate up and down. So just in case it gives you a chance tomorrow, it's 81.58. Yeah, Let's just give it a try. If you're there for long-term purposes, anywhere from 83 to 30, 81, 58 will be a good entry price. All right. So a volume here, your volume is also significantly higher than the previous day. So that is a good sign. Um, F, what is F? Are we referring to, let me just see, huh? Goro and this is right. I wonder, hold on. 7. So we are correct. Um, I have not really tried studying or pulling up charts of a US market here, but I hope this is the Goro that we have been monitoring, Rose. Okay, so Goro has been on a very significant increase. It's been doing bull run or bullish movement for the past uh, 2 quarters. What? Yeah, October, November, December. Yeah, last quarter of 2019 it dipped and then all the way up now for how many months? So still it is respecting your ME20 line, but where are we? Okay, so I would have to say look at your RSI. RSI is somehow a little bit more advanced in terms of signal. At this point, even if the price is still up there, your momentum is now starting to die down. So a bearish candlestick for me would already be a very good trigger to start, partially taking profit. That's what I saw here. Price was moving upwards, and RSI is already on a decline. But true enough, it declined, but we also managed to bounce. So I would have to, I just observe. It is also possible that this kind of formation has already executed its purpose when we see the price dipping. But based on the last candlestick, I feel that there's still a slight push to the upside before it goes down. When it does that and still trigger the upper band, let's just extend that line and again observe as well how your RSI is projecting. Hmm. The next one is F. What's F Ford? Stock, all index, Nasdaq, or all. Let's just put all exchanges. F. I don't see any company with just F. Probably that's a typo. Anyway, MWC. MWC. Okay. Okay. This is a bearish candlestick, guys. So I would have to say we might see some more movements downwards. And this is what I was mentioning the other day. Okay. If you, let's say you entered right here. Okay. Because when you entered, you really thought, that, oh, it's already cheap. Not realizing that the downtrend is not over yet. So at the end of the day, what is the result? You're stuck. You're negative by what percent? Let's say you entered here. So you are now negative by 29.81%. So let us say you have 1,000 shares that you entered right over here. And now that we have somehow uh, moved upward, the next thing you'll ask yourself is, now that I see a sign of weakness, what should I do? Okay, so because when there is a sign of weakness, chances are you'll have some more downward movements in the coming days. So with your 1,000 shares, what I recommend is consider taking profit. As to how much, that's your call. Some people would do 50-50. Some people might just withdraw or sell 300 out of the 1,000. And then what do you do with the buying power? So you know for a fact that the possible movement is on a decline, right? It will move downwards. And what you can do is when it reaches a confirmed area of bounce, then you buy some more. Okay, for example, this goes down and then it ends right here, then you use your buying power to buy some more shares at 7.49. You'll realize later on that even if you did technically do a cut loss around this area, somehow it will be neutralized, okay? It will be balanced out uh, because you purchased it at a much lower price, bringing down your cost average now. Okay, so Bloom and AXLM, that is for Brandon. Okay, Bloom is also, I'd like us to plot this area as our support. So it might just move within that range, slightly higher first. Okay, there we go. It might just move within that range for now. This will be our support. Okay. All right. ISM and SEC for Renato. ISM. ISM is still not safe. We're still right here. I hope that gets, you know, I hope it does not break down in price and just stabilize within the area. So let's just watch out for it. My take is just wait for another green engulfing candlestick. So this is red, right? If it just stabilized in this area and ends much higher than the previous day, then that's a good sign. I would have to say that's when we enter the stock. SCC. SCC is also a resistance area. This is a resistance, but let's also see because it's been sitting in this area for quite some time. So what if this previous resistance will now become your support? We can't, we can also entertain that fact because your previous resistance can act as a support. What and when should I enter? My recommendation is wait for a green engulfing candlestick to probably start within a price of start price of 22 and then end much higher than this red line or probably around 22.17. That's already a confirmation that our moving above our key area of focus, right? So we might create a brand new wave. All right, so anything else? So I have few more people still with us. Do you guys have any requests that you'd like me to review? Are you sure you're just okay to watch? Okay, let me just go ahead and tinker with all the stocks. Okay, highly traded today. Done with MWC, BPI, still on a downward movement, so I see that it might continue to go down further. ICT, use your MA20 line as a key area to enter at, just in case you want to consider entering this stock. Watch out how the market behaves around 128.01. Will the support sustain? If it goes lower than that, then don't wait for a much bigger loss before you exit. Okay, AC is, I'd like to plot. Let's do this. Let's make this as our support over here. Okay, so I have a feeling it will just move within that range before it goes up. 774.95. TAC, still good, promising formation. We are outside the Bollinger Band. If you're a trader, traders don't like this if they're not a momentum trader. Okay, because chances are, this could be a little bit of a FOMO level already. But if you're there for long-term purposes, I'd say anywhere from where it is at right now to 498, that is already a good entry price because look at this. Very massive decline since 2018. So compare that to the potential revenue that you will be able to get when you enter as early as now. Okay. Ion. This one is for Joey Abelia. Okay, this is an engulfing candlestick, definitely. At the same time, we also have a gap up that happened. I'd be very careful with this because this is kind of unfamiliar stock for the majority. And so when you see something like that, that sometimes it's not sustainable. It's just a spur of the moment thing. So we might see some more movements downward in the coming days for this stock. Okay. All right. So I think that is it for tonight. Uh, but I'll stay a few more minutes, guys, if you would like me to discuss some more stocks. We're 5 minutes away from the top of the hour. Do you have any other requests? Okay, if this is your first time to join our live session, what we do here every single night is review the stocks in the Philippine market as well as in the US market. And if you have engaged in any of those, feel free to drop a comment like what the others have done today. Just put your request, and I do real time live analysis. And the objective of that, guys, is not just to spoon feed you, okay? Do not just rely on my, uh, you know, analysis. It is the thought process that I would like to impart to you that someday you will also be able to do it yourself and you can independently, accurately analyze charts. That way you can be more confident in all of your trades. And because we don't achieve that overnight, that is the reason why we do this every single day. We want to form that skill for all of us. Okay, like myself, I also would like to uh, enrich and strengthen my skill in the stock market. So that's what we do. Hi, Reggie Cabrera, right? Rasul Tula ISM. Okay, let me check that out for you. I would still, I'd like to still reinforce our yellow line here. Let's observe. We might continue to move sideways before a change in direction or a bounce happens. So 3.54 is the key area to watch out for. Reason being is that I know you've heard this several times. All your moving averages, be it MA20, MA50, MA100, or even MA9, when you plot them or you turn them on, uh, you'll realize that these are the key areas where a stock price can potentially resist at or bounce at, depending on where it is at the moment. Okay, so that is ISM. Anything else? Okay, so I hope after I end this session, I will have a few more subscribers added to our YouTube channel. Okay, Reggie, okay, AXLM. I know someone requested that earlier, but let us go ahead and check that out. It's a dip, AXLM. I would have to say we might have some more movements downward, and just see uh, we how this stock performs once it reaches this level. That's one, an MA20 area. Number two, you also have some um, noticeable rejection happening in that area. The previous resistance can now be a support. Okay, IRC for Joey. I have a question, guys. How many stocks do you keep on your portfolio? Just want to gather your thoughts, probably. Okay, so for IRC, we have a very good message in today's performance. This is a candle or an engulfing candlestick. We ended much higher than the previous day's candlestick. So I would have to say we might see some more green days. Hopefully we end this week with another green candlestick. Let's just put MA20 as your resistance. Okay, so we might continue to move up some more, but of course, notice the nearest rejection or nearest resistance at the 1.26 area. Okay, so there you have it. Anything else? Okay, I think that's a wrap for tonight. It's 11:59. You guys have a very good night rest. Oh, Reggie, 30 stocks? Wow. Okay, so unless you're a long-term investor, long-term investing, I think that doesn't matter. But if you're a trader, some people or some experts would advise to um, reduce the count of stocks that you manage. Because sometimes maintaining 30 stocks could be very, very challenging, especially if you're trading. But if you're a long term investor and you believe in these stocks in a long term perspective, I think that doesn't matter. Okay. So Rhea has won. Okay, that's good. But in the context of sizing, okay, just remember, do not put everything in one basket, because if that basket falls, everything falls. See that? So I'm sure, and I hope you're just testing the waters first with that one, or I don't really know your backstory, why you had that, why you decided to partner in that stock. But yeah, having one in your portfolio is really definitely manageable. Ruben Senosa, hi. Reggie Cabrera, yes. So I would assume you answered yes, that you are an investor. So yeah, 30 stocks as an investor, and you believe in all those stocks. I think it's just fine. So just know that stocks can dip, and if you're there for long term, manage your emotions. Okay, don't get carried away and exit in these dips, because you in the first place entered for long term in there. Picor, Ruben, yes, let's check. Okay, so this is not a good story for Picor. At one point, you already started moving above the MA20 line, but this is a bearish candlestick, so we might again trigger your MA20. Let's see if it will continue to go down and test your MA20 line, 4.11. Hopefully, we just bounce once it reaches that area and continue to move up. But definitely, I just have to say, monitor what happens around 4.12 or 4.11. Rhea, but I have mutual funds. Yeah, okay, very good. So you have one for the stock and you also have one for mutual funds. So that is very good. You're diversifying. So that was the term I was looking for earlier. You're diversifying. Okay, that's really good. Some people also have investments in properties. Um, uh, Either way, for as long as the objective is really to diversify and invest in different medium or different strategy, then the effort is there. Just keep it up. Okay, very good. All right, so is that yeah, I think that is it for tonight. Thank you guys for joining me, and we all have a good night and good morning as well. Bye bye for now.